this second part of our tutorial, we're going to look at the difference between 2 and 4 minute machines and 2 and 4 minute records. The easiest way to understand this is to go back in our time machine to 1909. At this time, cylinder records had been widely available for at least 10 years, and in general, every cylinder could play for 2 minutes. But look at Edison's competition. The flat disc 78 RPM shellac record would play for around 3.5 minutes. And although the 1.5 minutes doesn't seem like a big difference to us now, it was significant then. So, in late 1909, Edison introduced a record that could play for 4 minutes. These records, which Edison called amber rolls, weren't any longer or any bigger than the 2-minute records. Instead, the number of grooves was increased from 100 to the inch to 200 to the inch, and the finer grooves required a finer stylus. Edison sold a conversion kit to retrofit the old 2-minute machines, and by the 1910 model year, he was selling combination models, that is, cylinder phonographs capable of playing both 2 and 4 minute records. How to distinguish a 2-minute machine from a combination model? Well, by 1909, cylinder sales were well into a long decline, so most of the outside horn machines ever made were straight 2-minute models. Combination machines need some extra gearing to change the pitch of the feed. This is the upper works from an Edison fireside. I've removed the gear covers so you can see what's going on. There's a little knurled screw here that you can slide from right to left. The pushed-in setting is for 2 minute, pull out for 4. Edison Standards and Gems also use this type of arrangement. If you don't have this extra gearing, you most likely have a straight 2-minute machine. This is an Edison home phonograph. The combination gearing here is a little different. If you have a combination home, you'll see 2 pulleys, not 1, on the upper works. The smaller pulley, the one that doesn't carry the belt, swivels a little bit and pulls out to the right. That's the 4-minute setting. For 2-minute records, snap it gently back into place. The Edison Triumph also uses this kind of arrangement. If you don't have these 2 pulleys, you most likely have a straight 2-minute machine. Now, I should add here that some very, very late machines, such as Model B Fireside, employed only straight 4-minute gearing, but you won't often encounter them. If you get the setting wrong, you'll know it, because the record will sound garbled. You'll also need a reproducer appropriate to the type of record that you're playing. The model designation of the reproducer is usually stamped on the fishtail of the reproducer. I'm going to show you some of the most common ones. This is a Model C 2-minute reproducer. This is a Model H 4-minute reproducer. It has a sapphire stylus. Some reproducers had a swivel setting and 2 styli, like this Model K. This one's called the Diamond B. It's a 4-minute reproducer with a diamond stylus. This machine already has a 4-minute reproducer on it, so let's set it for 4 minutes. We're almost ready to roll. The final thing you need to know is how to tell a 2-minute from a 4-minute record, and that's easy if you keep in mind a little bit of history that you learned earlier. Up until sometime in 1909, there was no such creature as a 4-minute record. Every cylinder on Earth played for 2 minutes. This is an Edison gold molded record, the so-called black wax record. Columbia also made this type of record. This title might have been cut around 1905. The record isn't marked with the record speed because there wasn't any need. Everyone knew it played for 2 minutes. There were some companies other than Edison that manufactured Bakelite and celluloid type records. If the record isn't marked, it's a 2-minute record. And again, there were companies other than Edison that manufactured 4-minute records in Bakelite or celluloid. These records will be marked 4M on the rim. These are some 4-minute indestructible records. This is the Amberol record that was introduced around late 1909. This record is a hard black wax type composition, but it's marked 4M on the rim. By the way, the collectors don't like these records because they have very poor compliance. That is, they break down the walls between the grooves after a couple of playings. If you're going to play one of these, don't play it with a diamond stylus. Finally, these celluloid Edison blue Amberols were introduced around 1912. They're quite distinctive with a brilliant blue color and a plaster of Paris inside. They're not marked on the rim, but they are 4-minute records. So, to sum things up, everything is 2-minute unless it's marked 4M on the rim, except blue Amberols or records with a plaster of Paris inside, which are always 4-minute. And that finishes the basic tutorial. You might want to check out the beginner's guides and other articles on our website.